But what I want to do is provoke you by that question here. Are we too little or too late? There's too little, we're too late. And I think it's about time we just stop dreaming about the black stuff from under the ground, leave it where it is, and move on to other things. Tourism, infrastructure, financed somehow else, our wonderful agricultural commodities, and the most important resource that we have in East Africa, young people. Is oil and gas the cure for poverty? Maybe. But there's been some excitement because a lot of stuff has been found. 18 companies drilling 30 offshore coastal areas for gas in Kenya, Tanzania, and Mozambique, and they found the stuff. 500 oil wells drilled compared to 35,000 in Western North Africa, and they're finding stuff. And the estimated gas reserves are over 100 trillion cubic feet, 20 billion barrels of oil equivalent. So we're all very excited. So we think this is the magic bullet for our poverty issues. But my argument is we're excited because we've got these three assumptions. First of all, that the stuff that we're discovering is scarce. Yeah? And so therefore, the price is high. Secondly, the demand for fossil fuels globally is insatiable. We'll never stop needing the stuff. Especially oil. Every plastic item on the planet is made out of the black stuff that comes out of the ground. And so because of those three things, and these assumptions are related, we'll be swimming in the money. So here I'm about to tell you, those assumptions are wrong. And I want to show you why they're wrong. Wrong assumption number one, oil and gas is scarce commodities. Those of you who were listening to BBC just last week know that Egypt has just found an enormous amount of gas. And then even the stuff that we already know about that used to be hard to get at when we discovered it 50 or so years ago, we can now get at through fracking and horizontal drilling. All of this new technology is allowing us to access all of this gas. So states like Pennsylvania in the US are becoming energy states again. So is it scarce? No, there is plenty of the stuff already in the world. Wrong assumption number two, that there is insatiable demand. So forget about economy and this kind of thing. Can our very planet take the stuff that we want to throw up into the atmosphere? Our proven reserves of fossil fuels that we know about, this is before we're finding other things, can throw up into the atmosphere 2,795 gigatons of carbon dioxide. Okay? We want to keep the global temperature increase to 2 degrees or below in the next 100 years. Okay, how many years do we have left? 85. In order to achieve that, we can only throw up in the next 50 years into the atmosphere 886 gigatons of carbon dioxide. So 63% of the stuff that we already know we have, we can't use. That is unburnable carbon. You cannot burn all of that stuff if we want to spare the planet from overheating. Wrong assumption number three, we're going to be swimming in the cash. Ruma was saying, surely we're going to start exporting oil from Uganda in 2015. 2015 is now ticking, tick-tock, tick-tock. Are you exporting oil yet? No. But here is the profile of the money that is supposed to be coming in. $4.7 billion. That's a huge number. It's your budget plus. Okay? Or 13 billion. It's the GDP of Uganda plus of 2011. And yet, when you break it down, okay, the population of Uganda is growing. You're very uncertain about oil prices. What they calculated in the best of all possible circumstances, that even with production starting at modest levels as early as 2015, it'll take about 11 years before revenue climbs towards just 5% of GDP. Suddenly that big number has shrunk to 5% of GDP. And by 2030, it may be about $40 per person in 2012 US dollars. Is that very exciting? So this very big number suddenly becomes, why? Well, by 2030, the population of Uganda is not going to be what it is today. It's going to be much bigger. And one of the drivers of this So suddenly that huge pot of money. So what are your expectations? I bring this back to you. Is oil and gas going to be a central driver of our future prosperity? Essential? Or is it optional? Maybe. Where do you fall in between these two extremes? That we must have it, we are going to use it, or it's a nice to have, let's think about other ways of reducing poverty in Uganda, raising the prosperity levels, making our countries wonderful, beautiful places that they already are to live in for the majority of our compatriots.